Hey Teal Nation, Sam Wiederhaft here for what's going to be an awesome episode of the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. He's become a household name beyond the city limits of Conway. He led Coastal into football relevance in the FBS era, winning the program's first ever bowl game and a top 25 ranking. He was the best in the Sun Belt for 3 consecutive years. When you hear 10, you know who it is. Yeah, we got former Chanticleer quarterback Grayson McCall on the show after he recently rejoined the football program as an offensive analyst. We covered a lot in this conversation, from his playing days to the injuries he's had to battle through, and now his life as a coach and how he's had to adjust to a new side of the game. So let's just get right into it. Here's my conversation with number 10, Grayson McCall. Teal Nation, you wanted him, and now you have him. New offensive analyst for Coastal football, but you know him as number 10, Grayson McCall, joining us on the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. Grayson, really appreciate the time. Congrats on being back. Again, the offensive analyst job. Just how's it feel to be back in Conway?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's awesome. I feel like I'm back at home. So that's obviously a good feeling, and excited to kind of start a new journey in my life and get this coaching thing kicked off. But fired up to be back, man. We got a lot of good guys, new guys on staff. So it's been good being around everybody, meeting new people, new faces. But ultimately, just really happy to be back at Coastal.
What have been the orders of operation? I mean, you've been here for a little over a month now.
Yep.
As the offensive analyst and the coaching staff, just what have you been up to the past few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was as soon as I got here, it was kind of thrown into the fire and getting to work, which I love and used to. But it's awesome being back around the guys, back in that football environment, the locker room, and things like that. So winter conditioning, winter training is going on right now. We got about another week left of that, and then put on the shoulder pads and helmets to go play a little football. 15 practices of spring ball, so fired up getting the guys ready for that, and I think we're in a really good spot right now, so we're excited to get going.
You did so many great things here from 2020 to 2023. So many memories were made. Why was it important for you to come back to Teal Nation?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just really appreciate Coach Beck and those guys for giving me the opportunity. I know this is, it's a business, and these jobs aren't taken lightly. I know even as an analyst or a quality control guy, there's a lot of responsibilities, and you got to handle your business like a professional. So it's been awesome transitioning into it, and just so grateful for the opportunity to come back. It's easy for me to come back here and work as hard as I can for this team and for this school, because I care so much about it, and everything Coastal was able to do for me in my life and my football career. So just ultimately grateful to be back and excited to get going.
Take me through the steps of how you were able to come back. I mean, how soon was it after you decided to retire in the middle of last year with NC State after your head injury? But how soon after it was your contact with Coach Beck and getting back to Coastal? Yeah,
I mean, I think as soon as possible. It was me being proactive about the situation and reaching out to all the people that I know in the industry. And obviously, Coach Beck was able to get back with me. Had to move a few pieces around on the previous staff, bringing a new offensive and defensive staff in. So a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces. But me, ultimately, just trying to get my name out there and finding the best position for me. And I couldn't have placed myself in a better position. So it's been awesome.
Well, it's not hard to get your name out there. It's a very recognizable name, especially here in Conway. What do you enjoy so far about just the coaching side of the game and the stuff that you've learned so far?
Yeah, I think just pouring into the guys, right? So I think it's awesome to be in the position to be able to impact young guys and young football players that are starting their career and trending up in the right direction. And then on the other side, with the transfer portal and all this crazy stuff, you have old guys that have done it for a while. So I think for me, it's just ultimately being a part of a team and the game of football, because I have so much love and respect for the game. But the other side is just being able to pour into these guys and impact them as a football player and as a young man, and what they're going to face, the challenges and the adversity they'll face both on the field and off the field. So it's been awesome, man. I have a great passion for what I'm doing and really excited about where this journey is going to take me.
You have so much love for the game. You've had a lot of experience with the game. You've played in some really big moments. How do you think that can affect your coaching side and use your experience to better help the players on this team?
Yeah, I think especially me being kind of fresh out of it and playing my last bit of football just this past year, just the experiences that I can bring to the table, and everything that these guys are going through, I was just going through it not long ago. And so just kind of being able to pour in and give them some knowledge nuggets about different ways to attack things, the mental side of things, and like I mentioned earlier, not only football, but off the field stuff, all the stuff that these guys are going through with NIL and the transfer portal and academics and everything, all the noise that goes on outside of it, just trying to be level-headed and keep the main thing and make sure we're all mission focused and heading in the right direction. So I think I can bring a lot to the table for these guys, especially being here and kind of direct them around campus and all the good spots to eat and everything like that. So it's been awesome.
Do you feel like you've always had strong leadership qualities, or is that something that you've had to learn throughout your time as a quarterback and now a coach?
Yeah, I think it was always there, right? So I think as a young player, it was something that was instilled in me by my parents, right? Just the way I was raised, and then ultimately being a quarterback at a young age, and it kind of comes with the responsibility of being a quarterback. But I think it just kept growing. The older I got, and the more football I played, and there was always great guys around me that were leading me in the direction and teaching me how to be a great leader. And through experience and the things you face, good and bad, I think it just helps you become a better leader. So awesome experience and awesome opportunity for me to be able to be back and to lead these guys. So it's a natural feeling, and it's been great.
Talking with former Coastal quarterback Grayson McCall on the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. Let's go back to last season.
Yep.
You go to NC State and the ACC. Concussion about halfway through. Early in that season, you get carted off the field. You make the decision to retire a little bit later on.
Yep.
What went into that decision, and just ultimately, what did last year teach you?
Yeah, I think speaking on the injury first, I think just being able to do things like this, right? I thought if I continued to play football and put myself in jeopardy to have such a significant injury again, that it might impact me greater in my life, not only football, but having a family one day, being a father, and doing the things I love, like coaching football. So a lot went into that, a lot of conversations, a lot of doctor visits, a lot of thinking. But ultimately, I thought it was the best decision for me. And God's doing crazy things in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do when football was over. Was kind of lost and felt empty. And then I was welcomed into this coaching opportunity. And man, it's just been great. I know that what's happened in my life has all happened for a reason, and I'm here at Coastal for a reason. And it's crazy to think how it all fell out and all worked into place. But extremely grateful to be back. And although it was a very tough experience, kind of glad and happy that it happened the way it did.
It was your second head injury. You had one at Coastal and were carted off the field after that one as well. Just talk to me about how tough that is to go through as a player, and some of the challenges that you just have to overcome with getting some pretty crucial injuries like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty traumatic, obviously, and at the end of the day, just mentally didn't think I could put myself through that again. After it happened the first time when I was here out of Arkansas State, and then the second one almost being even worse, just not being able to put myself through it. And obviously my family at the same time, they've been my backbone through it all. And so seeing the way it impacted them and things in that nature, it was really tough. But kind of turning into that coaching role the second half at NC State, not being able to play and just helping in any way that I could is, I think, really shaped me into being able to transition so easy and jump right into this thing.
Let's go back to happier times. Starting quarterback here at Coastal from 2020 to 2023, the numbers are just absurd. Over 10,000 passing yards, over 100 touchdowns in total, 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year. When you look back on your time in Teal, what are some of your favorite memories that come to mind?
Man, there are so many, and I think, the first thing that comes to mind is obviously when it started in that 2020 season and all the awesome games we had, all the the awesome things that were going on even during a extremely crazy year of COVID. And I can't help myself but to talk about the BYU game, right? It's just like Coastal Carolina on College game day, like first time ever, limited capacity in Brooks Stadium, but we find a way to get it done on a short week, right? So that's like unbelievable. And ultimately named Sun Belt Conference champions for the first time in school history on the football side of things. And then the next year we go play in the Cure Bowl and we get our first bowl victory, and that was just an awesome game, back and forth the whole game. And I think my greatest memories through it all are the guys that I was doing it with, right? So like all those guys that were older that kind of shaped the way for me and paved the road. I think I just can't help but to think about all those guys. And it's awesome that Trey's back and doing it with me, because he's a guy that's done so much for the program and throughout the journey. But yeah, just ultimately grateful for the guys I was able to do it with, and every good memory that pops up involves those guys. So it's it's awesome. And being back is kind of a refresher to all those memories. So it's been awesome.
This interview has been 5 years in the making because I started doing this show back in 2020. That's when I first got here. And the very first episode was after the Kansas game. At Kansas was your coming out party.
Right.
And I texted Kevin Davis, our former SID, I said, yeah, he's a great dude. And I said, let's get Grayson on the show next week. And he goes, freshmen can't really talk to the media. Was that kind of a weird experience for you, just having all that success and all that media coverage on the team, and you just not really being able to communicate with that?
Yeah, I think so, but I think Kevin caught up on all that in the next couple of years, and I got plenty of media time, so thanks to Kevin for that. But yeah, it was weird. I mean, ultimately just a really weird year in general, but I think as a football team, what we were able to do for the university and just the community of Conway was really uplifting, right? It was just like very infectious throughout the whole town, the whole city, and what it was ultimately able to do for Coastal Carolina. And the energy was felt on campus, right? It was a big deal. So it was definitely weird, but I'm glad that in the following years I was kind of able to express my thoughts and feelings throughout it all and talk through the experiences. So it was great.
Your longtime center, Trey Carter, you mentioned him. He's also on this coaching staff here at Coastal Carolina, coming from Liberty. Just tell me about what your relationship is with him now, because I know that you guys were super close when you guys were playing.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends, and ultimately he's a few years further into this thing than me. So having him right by my side throughout this has been great. He's kind of lead me in the right direction. If I have questions, I go to him. But it's great to see that that the coaching staffs here are bringing guys like Trey Carter back, guys that have kind of done the dirty work. Starting Trey's first couple years was rough seasons here, and Trey and that group of guys in that class kind of turned it all around. And I see baseball's doing the same thing, bringing a guy back, and I think it's awesome to have guys here that have done it here and experienced it all. So it's awesome to have Trey back. He's a funny guy in the building, and he works his tail off. He's really passionate about what he does, so he's a huge asset in our building.
Pretty sure he's got the record for most consecutive games played.
That's right.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
The guy was always on the field.
Yeah.
Speaking of Coastal Carolina memories, where's the truck at?
I don't know, man. I wish I knew. I'm sure Mr. Klauser has it somewhere down there in Conway, but that's funny you ask. Good memories.
That was a big staple here on Coastal's campus. It was everywhere. So this coaching staff, you talk about a lot of moving pieces, new people coming into this coaching staff, one of those being the offensive coordinator, Drew Hollingshead. Mm-hmm. What have been your experiences with him, and just kind of talk about who he is as a leader?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, great dude to be around, right? So a younger guy as an offensive coordinator, but has a ton of experience in it, kind of coming from the Mike Leach tree at Mississippi State and doing some similar things that they did back in the day. And great dude, great coach. He's a great teacher, and he's done it. He played quarterback at Houston, and so he knows it. He knows ball. He knows the quarterback position, and really smart and creative thinker in terms of how he dresses plays and formationally and with motions and different things. But great dude, great guy to be around, and a really good football coach. So I'm excited to learn from him. And anytime I have questions or anything, go in the office and pick his brain and kind of just chop it up. But very knowledgeable about the game of football, the quarterback position, and offense as a whole.
And the recruiting so far, fire.
Yep.
Brought in a lot of really talented quarterbacks. MJ Morris out of Maryland, Emmett Brown out of San Jose State, a lot of experience there. Samari Collier coming out of community college. And also Ted Hudson, who's already been with the program.
Right.
What do you think of this quarterback room?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's crazy that, looking at it right now, we have 4 or 5 guys that can take the first snap for Coastal, and some people may think that's a bad thing. No, it's probably the best thing that any program could ask for, right? So we have 4, 5, 6 guys that are going to go out this spring, over the summer, and in fall camp and battle it out and see who the best guy is. So it's going to be fun watching those guys compete and get after it. They're all going through the process of learning the system with Drew and those guys, and it's awesome, man. I'm fired up about it. I can't wait to see who's going to be our quarterback. And I know the other guys that don't take the first snap will be very supportive and work hard and be ready when their number's called. So fired up about our group, smart guys and really good football players, really good quarterbacks. So excited to see what they can do.
Now, you came back to Brooks Stadium last year for a game. Was it the App State game that you were back for? It was the App State game.
Yes, sir.
The game day experience looks a lot different now than when you were playing.
It does.
With the fireworks and the smoke machines and all that. What do you think overall of the football experience?
I'm a little bit jealous. I won't lie to you. It's but it's awesome to come back and see the changes and the improvements of the game day experience. I know the fans love it and the students love it, but I was able to come back on a Thursday night game against App State and school in Boone, and
there it is.
And we got after them a good bit and got the win, so it was awesome. But the game day experience with the fireworks and the fire and everything that's going on is pretty sweet, man. So the scoreboard looks great, all the lights and stuff. So it was awesome to come back and see that.
In this area, or in this era of the transfer portal and what's going on in college athletics, it's refreshing to see loyalty. And we've seen a lot of loyalty from you, playing at Coastal for many years, coming back and joining the coaching staff. What has this school overall given you?
A lot, man. More than I can really put into words. I think, ultimately it changed my life, changed my family's life, put me in positions that I could never imagine myself being in. So, really under-recruited out of high school in one of the few schools that took a chance on me. And, this place changed my life, not only in football, but just the community, being here at the beach, stamped in me forever. So when I say, I feel like I'm back at home, this is home. And this place has done so much for me. So now it's my job to give back and pour back into the school, the players, and all the things that I'm responsible for. So I'm fired up about it, man. Really excited to be here, and like I said, really grateful to be back. So
where are we going to see you on game day? I don't know if that's been decided yet. Are you going to be on the sidelines, up in the press box?
I don't know, man. Currently I'm actually working with the wide receivers, right? So Tyrone Carrier, our wide receivers coach, I'm helping him out in that room right now, and working with those guys, trying to get our best guys out there. But I'm not sure yet. Hopefully I'll be down on the field and be right in the middle of everything. But if they want me up in the box with the eagle eye, I can do that as well. So excited to see to where I end up.
Well, we'll finish it off, Grayson, with just talking about the 2025 season and just how excited you are to get back, not only to Brooks Stadium, but back in a college football environment, back in Conway, and just how excited overall are you for next year?
I'm so excited, man. I think, like I said, we have a really good group of guys, some more guys coming in that we're really excited about, and overall great coaching staff. I'm really excited about the guys we have on offense and Jeremiah Johnson, our defense coordinator, the guys that he brought in with him on defense, a lot of coaching experience and a lot of really good dudes. So fired up about it. I think we got some big games on our schedule, obviously going out to Virginia and then down to Columbia to see those guys a few weeks after. So there's some big games on the schedule that I think if we take care of those and handle our business in the Sun Belt, we could be one of those teams at the end of the year that people are talking about. So I'm excited about it. Obviously a lot to look forward to, but it's day by day right now. It's going to be taking it week by week when we get into the stadium, but really excited and think our guys are in a great spot right now.
Again, an interview 5 years in the making. We get it done. Grayson, really appreciate the time. Have fun during spring practices, and we can't wait to see you back on the surf turf.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, that was really cool. I've been waiting a while for that one to happen, not going to lie, and it was great to catch up with Grayson, who's become just a legend here. The football schedule came out last Friday with big matchups starting on August 30th at Virginia. The home opener will be September 6th against Charleston Southern, and that Sun Belt opener is September 20th at South Alabama. So super excited to see Grayson in his new role and back at Brooks Stadium. Our basketball teams put a bow on their regular seasons, with the women capping off a remarkable year with a big 88-51 win over App State. They finished 22-7 and 12-6 in conference. They'll be the 4th seed at the Sun Belt Tournament in Pensacola and will play on Saturday, March 8th at 1:30 Eastern Time. Men's basketball plays on the very first day of the Sun Belt Tournament. The very first game, it'll be next Tuesday against Southern Miss at 6 o'clock Eastern Time as the Chants look to get a run going in March. Coastal Baseball is back at home over the weekend against Rutgers. They grabbed a 10-0 Mercy Roll win on Friday in the first game to move to 8-2. They're back at Springs Brooks on Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 11 a.m. to cap off the series. Softball is off to a really strong start at 12-3. We all saw that graphic on social media that they lead the country in home runs. They already have 29, and we'll look for more this weekend in the Chanticleer Showdown. It's a Saturday doubleheader against Wisconsin and UConn, followed by a Sunday doubleheader against UConn and Bowling Green to wrap up the weekend. Men's tennis is at home against SCAD on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and the women's tennis team has a pair of Sunday matches against UNCW and SCAD before they start Sunbelt play next week. Beach volleyball has kicked off their season in the sand with a 4-2 start. They match up with Tulane and Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Saturday from Austin, Texas. So that caps off another episode of the Chant Pod. Thank you once again to Grayson McCall for coming on and reliving some great memories we had during his playing days, and I know there will be plenty more to come. Lots of things going on around the TD Sports Complex this weekend, so have fun. Until Nation, we'll see you next week. Chant's up.